All right, guys, welcome to my list of the best movie video game adaptations ever. I'm gonna shock you guys with this. I think it's pretty good. At number 5,
Sure.
Doom 2004.
That movie sucks. I hate The Rock. The Rock sucks. Nope. Not it. Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Fine. It's number 5.
Okay.
All right.
At number 4, the Angry Birds movie.
Dude, no, worse. Ew. If I could throw up, I would right now. All right? I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. All right? Oh my god.
All right. Come on. All right, I get it. You guys don't like it. Let's move on. Number 3. The Uncharted.
Oh my god.
Boo! Tom Holland sucks. Who even is Mark Wahlberg? I don't know who that is. Who is he? I don't know. That movie sucks.
Anyway,
So bad.
you guys just don't appreciate quality cinema. I can see it.
Quality.
Anyway, number 2.
Alright.
Number 2. I'm gonna win you guys over with this one. I'm really proud of this. The live-action 1993 Mario movie.
No, that sucks. Chris Pratt? What is wrong with you? Who dropped you? You're awful. Nope, not it. You suck, man. I can't. Nope.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know what
I'm done.
I don't know what
I quit.
I don't know.
Not it.
Yeah, seriously.
Go talk, cameraman.
Yeah, we should fire him. Yeah.
Number 1.
I should be the host. Like
You know what? If you guys don't like any of the others, I guess you won't like number 1. Number 1, The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's a good list. Yeah.
Joel Pascal! Daddy! Welcome to Critical Damage. Hello and welcome back to Critical Damage, Emerson's only esports talk show. As of today, 5 seasons strong. I'm Michael, and I'm joined by my fellow hosts.
Piper.
And Ben.
Today, in this episode, we'll be discussing our takes on adaptations of video games, specifically in movies. Are they good? Are they bad? What makes a good adaptation? We'll then throw the script over to Aiden and Kath to cover our first frame news. I heard Blizzard's back in the headlines. Finally, we'll return to the desk to discuss our take on adaptations and how we'd adapting ourselves into video game worlds. Stay tuned, as for our final part of the show, us hosts will be drafting teams of video game characters to survive the world of The Last of Us. So stay tuned, and welcome back to Critical Damage. Let's begin with the thoughts from the hosts about adaptations. Take us away, Piper.
All right. Well, I personally, adaptations are a little bit of like an interesting subject because, sometimes they work really, really well, such as The Last of Us, which is, a really current example of something that went really well for an adaptation. There's also Arcane, which is another incredible adaptation. But then you have your other ones, like the Uncharted movie didn't exactly hit its mark. What are some other ones? Do you have some?
So other movies that I can think of, I think the Mario movie, old one,
Oh,
1993, that one definitely does not hit the mark. I can definitely think of the Doom movie from 2004. That movie also doesn't hit the mark. Some really, really bad movies. But personally, as far as video game adaptations go as a whole, I think a good video game adaptation stays faithful to the source material, whether that be the universe of the characters. I think it's really simple like that, and a lot of companies, when they make these movies, can really overcomplicate it in that way.
I agree with that sentiment, but I feel like a lot of times you can't just be faithful. I feel like some things can't adapt really well. For example, in The Last of Us, they had to change the type of way the virus spreads because it was originally what? It was spores?
Through the air, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
originally, yeah.
And now they have to change it to the fungus, both for realistic reasons, but also so they can see the actors' faces on camera, which is your selling point. And you can get away with covering them with masks in the game. But when you're making a movie, you want them to see Pedro Pascal
Of course.
Of course.
and everyone else around.
Yeah.
So you want to see their faces. But I feel like sometimes moving away is good. Do you guys think there's a scale?
I think for being faithful to an adaptation, there's, Arcane is one I mentioned. It is so different from, it's in the same world, universe, but League of Legends, it doesn't really have a set story unless you're really looking for it. So the way that they were able to take some small parts from the game and expand on them in the adaptation, it really provided new insight into the world and was really just an amazingly done show. And one could argue that it's not faithful to the original, but it still managed to be really popular and really well done. And I think you could even say that, I know we personally are not fans of the Uncharted movie, but it was able to reach a wider audience, and it not being faithful didn't really affect their perception of it because they've never played the games. And I didn't think it was that horrible. I think Mark Wahlberg as Sully was maybe not the best idea, but it was okay. And they did have the main actor in it, the voice actor. He did a cameo in it, which was nice.
I feel like Uncharted is in a weird spot because it was definitely made not for the video game audience.
Yeah.
The audience it was made for was the movie audience. It was the people who've never played the games, who know the name Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland.
Yeah, it was for people who love Tom Holland.
Exactly.
And Spider-Man movies.
And at the end of the day, I feel like you shouldn't make a video game adaptation and not be faithful to it.
Yeah.
But I can understand their reasoning. Don't get me wrong. I didn't think it was a great movie. But was that justified?
So as far as justifying big name actors going on the screen, I think that when you're making an adaptation, you definitely want to keep your audience broad. You want to have, I think, self-contained stories like The Last of Us and things like Arcane and Cyberpunk Edge Runners flourish from having those actors. It brings in more people that say, hey, if I'm a fan of Mark Wahlberg, then I'll want to go see this. And they can still understand the movie without playing the game. But what a lot of companies like to do, at least what I see, for example, Uncharted, the plane scene where they fall out, those are things that are tailored to the video game audience. So if you're someone who plays the game, you can watch that and go, oh, I understand this reference. But sometimes things like Uncharted don't really do it in a way that's meaningful. And I think that's really important to really keep it contained and to really have those gimmicks that are useful for the video game audience, as well as keeping it broad.
And I think with big name actors, it's kind of a slippery slope because, sometimes this big name actor can bring in a larger audience, but at the same time, it can kind of pull you out of the immersion of the world because you're watching it and you're going, oh, that's Pedro Pascal. I like Pedro Pascal, and you're not really thinking of him as Joel. I don't necessarily think that, but that is something, especially with the Uncharted movie that we're talking about. I was watching it and I'm like, that's Tom Holland. That's not Nathan Drake, that's Tom Holland. And I think that can kind of kill the immersion sometimes, which can make it difficult for video game enjoyers to really connect with the adaptation.
So where do you guys see the balance? Do you think one should be cared about more than the other? Because you get big name actors and you pay them a little bit more money, but you get more audience people in there. You get more people that experience the games. You might sell more of the game, but which one do you guys think there should be one more than the other? Should there be a balance? Should one is a complete disgrace and you should only copy the game word for word, scene for scene?
So I think the balance kind of comes, I think it's a little bit predetermined by whatever your source material or your content is. It's a lot easier. So you have Pedro Pascal in The Last of Us, and The Last of Us people know is a dark and gritty story. It's very emotional and things that people already love, from playing the game. But then you take something like, for example, the Mario movie that's coming out, and there's mixed opinions, and this has a long history, and maybe not everyone is set in this opinion oh, this is great. Maybe it doesn't have the best history. So having something like Chris Pratt, you might not be able to take that as seriously. Even if I think it was any other big name actor that wasn't Chris Pratt, it still might not be taken as seriously. But I think things like that just don't help in general. It really depends on what the material is.
I think that, oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
That's okay. So I think sometimes these big name actors kind of legitimize these shows and movies because people who outside of the gaming world will watch it and they won't see it as a video game. They'll see it as this amazing drama with this actor or this actress. It kind of allows it to reach more people and for them to accept it for what it is, even if it is connected to a video game. And then that might lead to more good adaptations in the future of said video games.
I don't know. I can't help but feel that I feel like we're talking about the actors a lot. At the end of the day, I don't think it's the actor's fault. I feel like if a movie is going to be based on a game, it's the writer's job to make it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to hire an actor, he's going to play his part. Tom Holland signed up for that movie to play a character. It's the writers of that movie who need to make it faithful. I feel like once you start to blame the actors, you start to move away from making a pure like justification, have a real point, and more attacking someone you just think is easy. Because Chris Pratt kind of has that easy, just attacking idea behind him. People who don't like Marvel will attack Tom Holland because they just think it's easy. I feel like we shouldn't blame the actors as much.
So let me pose a question then. There's been a common trend among a lot of these adaptations where the actors do not know the original source material. Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg had never played Uncharted, and they knew nothing about that before they got the script. And even Pedro Pascal was intentionally told not to play The Last of Us and not to do anything about the story.
Also Bella Ramsey.
Also Bella Ramsey too, yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like it comes down to actors need to take a real understanding of their characters. And if the writers of that movie feel that they can get that character sense across in their script, I think that's fine. I think that at the end of the day, the bulk work for making that movie feel like the video game, if that's your intention behind it, it's not on the actor's shoulders. If the actor really truly wants to embody a character, they shouldn't have to play the video game. If that script is up to par, I think that's good. I mean, like, I think it would be great if they were a huge fan of the series, if they were passionate enough to know every small detail, if they could point to something wrong in the script, even something small, and say, I don't think that motivation fits my character. But I think at the end of the day, that's the writer's job, not the actor's.
Well, I think for the actors too, if you were an actor and you see the character that's already been played and represented, it would set this bar in a way and put this pressure where it's like, oh, this is how I know the character has to be represented, and it would kind of limit what the actor can do with that as far as flexibility go. Because at the end of the day, an adaptation also likes to take things and expand on it. Maybe one-to-one is good, but you want to make things different. And for the people that played the games, you want to make sure that it's a fresher experience for them and they're not just watching the same thing over again. So yeah, I honestly think that it's a good thing that actors don't see it. That way they don't have that kind of pressure.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really up to the writers to be the ones who know, and the writers, the creators, the directors, people who are working on it, to know the game inside and out. The actors will do their own research and they'll find their own way of representing these characters. I don't think they necessarily have to play the game or know the story super well. I just think they need to show up and do their job, and they do a great job at it. So I think it's really down to the writers to understand the community that they're representing and the game that they're representing.
So Piper, I want to pose a question to you.
Yeah.
I think both sets of creating a movie, animation and live action, have had really good successes and really bad flops.
Yep.
In your experience as a host here on Critical Damage today, do you think one is inherently superior?
I think it's a difficult question. I think it really depends on, what you are adapting. I think if they adapted The Last of Us into a animated show, I don't think it would hit as hard as it does, make me cry every episode. But let's say something like Arcane League of Legends, I think because animation is such it's so stylized in that game that I think it works really well transferring it over to an animated series. I think one isn't necessarily better than the other. I think it honestly all comes down to the writing, like you said.
Yeah, I think it honestly depends on the material. For example, The Last of Us, its story inherently is already very human and very relatable for a lot of people. Mine is the zombie apocalypse part, but it's a very human-focused story and it's very emotional. So it's really easy for people to connect with that. When you see a person on screen, it's really easy for you to relate and you get those emotions shown out of them. Whereas you have universes like Cyberpunk, like Arcane, which are more flashy and not necessarily realistic. So it's easier to represent those things in a more animated manner, just from like a production standpoint. And it's just, I feel like it wouldn't be taken as seriously if it was put in live action.
Yeah, and since we were mentioning the Mario movie earlier, I think it's interesting. I think, we don't know how that movie's going to be, but I think they did make the right choice making it animated, because that is how we've consumed Mario for 20, 30, however many years we've had Mario. And I think to stray from that would be kind of, I guess, unfaithful, just not really a great way of representing, the characters and the story. And, we've talked about the other Mario movie, the one from the 80s, I believe, and that one really really missed its mark. So I think they definitely made a good choice going with animation. I think it really just depends on what you are adapting.
See, I'm probably biased. I think at the end of the day, I think animation actually can get more emotion across because actors, like we talked about earlier, you kind of see them, you get pulled out of the story.
That's true.
But also, a character in an animation or an animated series or anything, just, it's only that. They're not going to walk off stage. Like, they are built for this medium.
Yeah.
Once that episode ends, they're not going to go star somewhere else. They're done. And I feel like the stakes and attachment you build in an animated series, especially with a lot of like emotional stories being told through video games, I feel like animated kind of does it better. Whether that's for the future to see, obviously I can be proven wrong, but I think I would prefer to see more animation of video games compared to more live action, but that might just be a personal preference.
To be fair, yeah, the animation medium hits closer to home when you're talking about video games. Although things are becoming more live action, there's still that whole animation aspect to things that are being made. So it's a lot easier for you to relate that and go, oh, this is animated and it's closer to the video game, so I can see the tie between them. But I think that, yeah, it can hit those emotional values, right? But live action at the end of the day, in my opinion, I just feel like it's closer to home when trying to relate that story to an audience. Because if your audience is broader, you're not just going to have the people that play the game, and you're going to have more people that need to understand the story.
Yeah, you'll gain a wider audience by using real actors doing live action than if you were going to do something animated, because animated is, we know is stereotypically associated with children, and it's not taken as seriously as something like a gritty HBO drama about a video game.
I do disagree with that idea of it being kids animation, but that's just a stereotype that exists.
Yeah.
But we will have to cut our segment short. Thank you guys for joining us for our A block. We're now going to send it over to Aiden and Kath for First Frame News.
Thanks, Michael. Hello, everyone, and welcome to First Frame News. My name's Aiden Sissom.
And I'm Catherine Hebert, and we will be bringing you the latest gaming news.
Gaming giant Activision Blizzard remains without a publisher in China after the recent falling out with 14-year partner NetEase. The long-standing deal between the two allowed for eligible games such as World of Warcraft and Overwatch to be played within China. Due to the country's laws, no game can be played without a local publisher. The deal not only affects all players, but competitive tournaments such as Overwatch League that has been left in a continual state of disarray.
It is no surprise that companies have been making massive layoffs over the past few months. We've seen it with Microsoft, 100 Thieves, and other large corporations. The most recent company to join in with those names is the popular Los Angeles esports organization, The Guard. Although having teams recently represented in the Valorant NA Challengers and Apex Legends Global Series, the organization has taken a massive hit, laying off all of their content, social, talent, and creative teams. This has come as a huge shock to those involved in the industry, as well as those who were recently hired by the organization, only to be released months later. The Guard has also come forth stating their Overwatch League team, the LA Gladiators, will no longer be competing after this season. A difficult few weeks for all of those involved, but we look to see where they are headed in the future.
Popular gaming convention E3 is returning in person this year after a 4-year absence of a physical presence. But this is without its shortcomings, as the big three of gaming, Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo, will not have a presence on the show floor. Xbox continues to speak highly of the event, but has stated it conflicts with their plans for this year's releases. Sony has not been present at the show since 2019 after reported disagreements with the Entertainment Software Association. Even with Nintendo's own Nintendo Direct, they have often remained on the show floor until this year. It remains to be seen what will become of E3 with this news, but its host company ReedPop remains optimistic they can put on a good show.
On a happier note, a brand new esports academy is up and running in Tokyo, Japan, designed with the intention to train and transfer in new professional players into the expanding esports scene. However, things took an unusual turn as the school slowly realized it was reaching a demographic of students they did not expect, the so-called high school dropouts. Students who feel disconnected from their education due to COVID, societal pressures, or mental health issues are finding their way to this new school with a combination of core studies and pro gaming instructors. A new wave of opportunities for educational and industry growth has opened up.
In the face of a mounting legal battle over the company's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, Nintendo has entered a legally binding agreement that brings Call of Duty to the Nintendo line of consoles. Call of Duty has not been on Nintendo devices since 2013 with Call of Duty Ghosts, and it remains to be seen how they will perform. It is promised the title will maintain full feature and content parity and will release the same day as on Xbox.
Hosted in Sao Paulo, Brazil, VCT Lock-In took the world by storm. 32 teams competed from the Americas, Pacific, EMEA, and China, battling it out in a single elimination bracket. This is a new format brought to the Valorant esports scene. Meanwhile, the VCT challengers are pushing through with teams such as Optic, Guard, Fnatic, FunPlus, PaperX, Loud, and Zeta becoming standouts early on. Now, back to you, Michael.
Welcome back to the desk. Thank you, Aiden and Kat, for First Name News. Now, we are going to move on to talking about ourselves in video game worlds. What would we do? Who would we be? We're going to start off with our first world, Animal Crossing. So, Ben, what are you doing in the Animal Crossing world?
Listen, I would be Tom Nook only because I would be so rich.
Ben,
And it's not even an argument.
You cannot handle your finances enough to loan out
Yeah.
lands.
I'll be able to handle my finances when I have like millions of dollars of scamming villagers and animals, and I will be fine. There will be no handling. I'll be good.
All right. Who are you in Animal Crossing?
I'd just be the normal villager. I'd just chill with all my little animals and probably have a little house on the beach and would probably go very into debt because of Tom Nook. So, you know,
You're welcome.
that might be a fair choice for you, honestly.
Well, I'm robbing Tom Nook.
Oh, is that an option?
Feel free.
I'm making it an option
Okay.
because if he's Tom Nook,
Uh-huh.
I feel like I deserve my money. And I don't think you deserve your money,
I think you could take him in a fight. You
Right?
could get the money.
right? Especially me with my little like Animal Crossing arms.
I have so many other animals
What
to
if I'm a
scam. It's
bear?
funny. Oh well, then I'm dead. I'm sorry.
Boom.
Yeah.
Are there bears in Animal Crossing?
Yes.
Probably.
Perfect. Then I'll be a bear.
Okay.
Let's move on to our next world.
Okay. All right.
Next up, Mario. Who would you be in Mario?
That's hard. I think I would be Princess Peach because you know what? She gets kidnapped. She hangs out in a castle for a little bit, and then Mario saves her, and then she's done. She doesn't do any work. She just chills in a castle all day, and that sounds pretty good. She doesn't have a job. She just plays tennis every once in a while. I
That
could
was
do
my
that.
pick.
Yeah, well,
I was gonna say
it's
that.
mine now, so.
All right. Well, Ben, you go because I got to think of a new one.
I think I'd be Bowser Jr. You know, only because I could be like my dad's Bowser, and that's really cool. And then like
Make-
Mario doesn't come after me, and I'm like, oh, he's after my dad, so I'm living the best life.
It'd make you a lot of friends. You'd be like,
Right,
"Aw."
right, yeah. And I have so many siblings, you know, just like, and if Bowser decides to come for me, I'd be like, all right, siblings, go get him. And you know, Bowser's there, so I think I'm chilling.
But
you know?
doesn't Mario go and kill you like first, and then he goes after Bowser?
Eventually, but I'm down the line, so I've got time.
He's got all those like other Koopas.
Yeah,
who
like
are
like
defending the
Lemmy
other
or whatever.
worlds.
they're
Right,
called.
I'm the
What are
last
their
in the
names?
bloodline.
It's like Lemmy and I don't even know
I
the
think
other ones.
Daisy's one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would be King Boo. For
Really?
obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm just that guy. Also, like,
So obvious. You're just that guy.
I am that guy, right?
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Anyway. Okay, but for reals, I think King Boo is actually like a slept-on character in Mario. I mean, like, he's kind of a king of an entire nation. Mario
Yeah.
can't beat him. He
Yeah.
just runs from him. Like, he messes with Luigi a lot, though.
It's
Like,
true.
that would be fun.
Okay.
I'd love to mess with Luigi. He seems like an easy mark.
Okay. What's our next world that we're trying to go into?
Yeah, well,
What's
we're
the
done.
next
We're
one?
done
What's
with
the next
that.
one?
Okay.
All
What's the
right,
next
all
one?
right. What would you guys be in Elden Ring? What's your class? Ben, start us.
Oof. His name's, I think it's the naked one. Whichever one that is. He's like called Tarnish or whatever. Nothing but a loincloth
They're
on.
all
I'd be that guy.
Tarnished.
They're all, I don't remember what his name. There's one that has like 10 stats all across the board, and he's just wearing a loincloth, and he has a club. I would be that guy.
Okay.
No explanation.
Piper?
When I played, I picked like the archer, and that was a bad choice because archery is really, really hard in that game. And then I rage quit, and I haven't played it since. So maybe I wouldn't be an archer, but archers are cool. So I'll do it, and I'll just get killed every 2 seconds.
I feel like my choices would definitely fall between archer and probably some sort of like half sword magic type setup. Probably holy magic, maybe a white robe,
Holy magic.
long beard,
Okay.
long hair.
Okay.
I want to be Jesus Christ in Elden Ring. I'm going to be honest.
That's
feel
fair.
Like, I feel like that. I'm just going to make the character.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Do it.
Let's move on.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Sure.
Favorite game of all time, best game of all time, goated game of all time.
I'm scared.
I'm also scared. What?
Where are you building your house in Minecraft?
Oh.
Okay.
Don't act so disappointed.
I love what's spruce wood. That's the best wood in Minecraft. So I'm building my house in a spruce forest
Okay.
because it's the best wood. I know there's lots of debate, but it's the best one.
Dark oak,
No,
easily.
it's spruce.
Solos.
No.
You're seriously telling me you take? I'm not even choosing a dark oak forest. I just feel like it needs to be addressed.
Spruce is the best one. It's the nicest. Dark oak is just, it's not good enough.
Dark oak is better. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
No, you're wrong.
No, but if I had to build my house anywhere, I would just go steal a villager's house. Honestly, you know,
I mean,
like I
that's
could
the
just, you know,
easiest.
yeah, I don't have to do anything, and I could just like trap them and trade with them, and then it would all be good. You know, it's a win-win,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Absolutely no shame
A
in you.
spruce
I'd be
villager house.
terrified to see what you build. Like, I feel like a dirt hut and maybe like a cobblestone floor. I feel
Yeah.
like that's the most advanced thing you could do.
Have you heard of the term green top?
No,
Where it's
I
like you have a dirt house for so long that grass grows on the top. That would be me.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a little hobbit.
Yeah. No, I am a hobbit.
All right,
So yeah,
our next world.
Yes,
Have you guys ever played Detroit Become Human?
I love that game.
I have. Yes.
Picture this. We are androids.
Okay.
All of us are part of the system. Make a choice. Do you rebel or are you following Connor?
Hmm.
And we're saying Connor's good for the moment.
We're saying Connor's good.
We're saying Connor's good. He's not part of the rebellion. You following Connor, you join the rebellion.
I'd have a simple life and I'd follow Connor. And I'd probably eventually find out and like definitely switch sides. But at first, I'd probably follow Connor. Connor's just cooler. I'm gonna be honest.
He is cool,
I
but
think Connor's really cool. Yeah.
I would pick to go with Kara to Canada. Just
That's fair.
escape and just live out my life in a little snowy cabin in the woods.
Morally, I'm with you.
A
Yeah.
spruce woods.
See, spiritually, I want to do that, but I really want to wreak havoc. So I'm going to be a resistance fighter. And trust me,
You'd be with Marcus?
no one is safe.
Oh no.
Wow, that's really menacing. I'm scared of you now.
You,
Okay.
you better be.
That's why I'm going to Canada.
Yeah, she's escaping me. That's the right move.
Mm-hmm.
You're going down, Connor.
Thanks, man. All right.
Moving on,
All right.
for our last world, we are trapped in the bunker. The nukes have just gone off. It opens. We're in Fallout. What are you guys doing to survive? Piper?
Fallout is too hard. I am lying on the ground and I am accepting my fate and I am dying from, I don't know, radiation poisoning or something.
Yeah, I feel like I'd probably die before I could find literally anything. Fallout has so much plot armor that like a feral ghoul would roll out of like some random house and probably maul me to death.
Yeah.
So I just like I don't know.
You gotta accept your fate and just go.
Yeah, I just accept my fate. I'm gonna be honest.
I think I could at least make it to civilization, but then a sniper is just gonna.
Maybe
Long story short, we're all dead.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
I'd be in
long
that village where it's like all children and then they kick you out when you're an adult. So yeah, I'd live there and then they'd kick me out and I'd die some horrible, gruesome death.
True, true. We'd all be dead anyways. I mean, Fallout 4 takes place in Boston, and you're in just like this nuked Boston. So we're done.
Yeah, we're
anyways.
we're
It's
done
okay.
for.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to our final, last time, our draft. I know everyone's been waiting for it. So, the draft order will be Piper, me, and Ben with 2 picks. We'll be snake drafting back and forth.
So who will we bring with us into The Last of Us? You'll see. Now, let's see. Who am I picking?
With our lovely assistant.
Yes, our lovely Vanna White over here will be helping us. So I am starting with, I think, the best choice on here. I am going with Zelda from Breath of the Wild. She is basically a god in that game. And she, I think, would take down some clickers really well. So I think she would be a great person to have on my team, and she would protect me. So we'd be besties.
Now, I know both of us are scheming for the same pick,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to take it because there's a better option on the board.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's the better option?
Aiden, bring me Minecraft Steve.
No, I wanted him.
He can carry so much weight. He can build a house. He can collect food. He knows how to do literally everything. I'm surprised he wasn't first.
But he's so weak in the beginning.
Well, you got to give him time.
All right, but what if he dies? Is if he falls off a cliff, he's not respawning, is he?
What happens when you fall off a cliff?
Zelda will save me with her magic powers or whatever she used against
Zelda will
Ganon.
come in clutch.
All right,
Yeah.
let's wait for the rest of our teams.
Okay,
All
okay,
right,
okay.
all right.
Okay.
Who are your 2 picks, Ben?
Listen, I am ready for Freddy Fazbear. I have to go with Freddy, okay? I appreciate you not picking him and leaving for me. Thank you, but I have to go with Freddy Fazbear. He's great. He can't get infected. He walks around with me, you know,
might kill you.
giant bear.
He's definitely-
He's
gonna
gonna
kill
scare
you.
off all the raiders. If I'm a Last of Us raider and an 8-foot metal bear comes strolling out of the house, I am going to run the other way. He's a fear tactic.
But what says he's not going to kill you?
I don't
What
know.
stops him?
Yeah.
He might. I don't know. I'll
You could
cross
get
that bridge.
into an
Cross
argument.
that
When I
bridge.
get to it, you know, we'll cross the bridge when we get to it. I'll be fine.
Second pick.
Second pick?
You have
Oh,
2.
I'm gonna have to go with my boy Tom Nook. I'm sorry. Not only
the banker?
yeah, the banker. I was Tom Nook before.
He would be
you
dead
know?
in 2 seconds.
Guaranteed. Money doesn't mean anything in the apocalypse.
Yeah,
It might if the world gets stable somewhat. I'll just stroll in. See, look, Freddy Fazbear will protect me, and then Tom Nook will roll into like some town, and he will scam everybody, and I will be the rich man who has Freddy Fazbear as my protector.
Is he also going to make your money as your entertainer?
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, the next pick from this list, I feel like there's only 2 options, and I'm going to go with the survival expert. Give me Lara Croft. I feel like that's the only real pick that's left on there. I got to get someone who can keep my ass safe. Also a badass.
That's fair. I don't think I could argue against Lara Croft. It's a pretty good pick. So you
Yeah.
know.
Did I steal your pick?
Maybe. Anyway, so next I will be picking Connor from Detroit Become Human. He's not human. He can't get infected. It's the same thing with Freddy Fazbear, except this person is a human and won't turn on me and kill me. Again, we'll all be besties. We'll take on the world together. I've got a god and I've got a robot.
That's true.
I'm surviving. I don't even need my other 2 picks.
You have another one.
Yeah, well, I don't need them. No, I'll do it anyway. Let's see. You know what? Just for fun, I'm taking the imposter from Among Us.
Can it get infected? What is it? I don't.
We don't know.
He's an imposter.
Some sort of
What?
alien hybrid thing. I don't know what.
Okay.
But you know when it like kills someone and the big spike comes out of its mouth and like impales them?
Uh huh.
Imagine that with clickers. It'd take them down 1 strike.
But what happens when he's infected?
He's small.
But like when you eat, if he eats the clicker, isn't he then gonna get infected? How do you take down the Among Us
Oh.
imposter?
Well, that's what Connor and Zelda are for.
There you go. Yeah, no.
I give them
he's
a-
just tagging along. It's fine. Yeah, I know.
He's just on
He's
the
just there
bench.
for the ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. My next pick. Oh, this is a doozy. I'm really leaning towards Pikachu because electricity and like battery sales, that could be a good way to earn trust. But I am
Resales.
everyone wants batteries in the apocalypse. Everyone knows that.
Okay, but what about an infected Pikachu? That's
Anyway,
scary.
I am going to take not Pikachu. I'm gonna take Link. I feel
Okay.
like
Fair.
my goal right now is just to build a team that'll keep me alive. And I don't think I need anything more than that.
I mean, same with Lara Croft. I don't think I could argue that.
Mm.
I mean, like Link has the but what happens when
he-
Link has gets infected and has like the Master Sword? You're dead.
I got Steve.
Yeah, you're right. Steve's got you. All right.
Stone Sword Steve. I don't see how we could lose.
But this is Breath of the Wild Link. He's been asleep for like 100 years. He's probably pretty weak.
I mean, I don't know. Lara Croft can pick up the slack.
Okay.
Okay.
Plus, he has bombs.
That is true.
For my next pick, hear me out for a second. I have to go with Yoshi. Yoshi, a mount, I can outrun the infected. I take Tom Nook small, I put him in my backpack like a poodle. I have him hanging out the back. I have Tom Nook riding Yoshi, and then I got Freddy Fazbear tagging along. It's like no, he's running. He's a robot. He's
So he's full
sprinting. He is
sprint.
running along with me. Yes,
That's a
I'm
sight
good.
to see.
I'm good.
I'm terrified.
I've got
And
it's
I'm
like a
also
crew.
not because that was a great pick, Ben.
Thank
I'm
you.
really
I appreciate
excited
it.
for your second.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with the Barbarian from Clash of Clans. Hear me out.
They're,
all right.
they're so expendable.
We're going.
That's literally that's the last pick anyone should be taking here.
The less people we have, the less money I have to share. All right, with Tom Nook. All right, because Tom Nook's gonna do all the work. All right. Barbarian, just a throwaway. He's also a scare tactic. He can just scream at everyone, and run at them. So like enter Civilization. I don't know what I'd do if a Clash of Clans barbarian ran.
Bro,
at me.
give me Pikachu. How are you not taking Pikachu? And you're taking the barbarian. Pikachu could ride on Yoshi. He's only like a foot.
I told you fear tactic. All right. I want to be a fearmonger in the apocalypse.
And the barbarian's gonna do that.
Yes, and Freddy Fazbear. You cannot forget about him. All right.
Let's
Oh,
hear your
no.
last two picks.
All right. Let's see. I am taking. Is that Nathan Drake? I'll take Nathan Drake. He's tough. He's survived 4 games. He falls off of cliffs all the time. He knows how to survive.
Right.
And he's done it. So he could help me.
I mean, yeah, no, I can't argue with Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake's cool. He's like Lara Croft. Nathan Drake's cool. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what if it's the Tom Holland version? That'd be fun.
That's right. He'll jump
That
out of
would
a
not
plane.
be fun.
It would be fun.
He's tripping over a rock. He's got that frog in his mouth. What's he gonna
Oh,
do?
yeah. Fair.
All right, you got your last pick. Who are you taking?
I have another pick? Okay.
You got your last 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ben's the unlucky sucker who.
I don't need another one.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You just pick another expendable barbarian.
Because we have a small crew and we
We'll
make
just
it
give you
work.
a second barbarian. How about that?
Yeah, that's
You
fine.
just have
I'm
2 of
so
them.
okay with that.
Yeah,
You just have 2 barbarians.
Even more scare tactics, that's fine.
Okay. My final pick is Mrs. Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man. Sorry, Pac-Man isn't her husband, I don't think. Anyway, Miss Pac-Man. She's coming with me, and she can eat the zombies, the clickers.
But will she turn into a zombie?
No, because she doesn't turn into a ghost when she eats a ghost. So I imagine the same logic would work for
That's
clickers.
actually- I didn't think
That's
about
good
that. That's
logic.
actually,
I didn't-
I
that
actually
didn't
didn't think
occur to
about
me.
that. I don't think I can argue with that. All right. That's fair.
Probably get a high score too.
Yeah, and that leaves you with Princess Peach. Wow.
Look, all right, she's pretty good in Smash Bros.
But like against zombies though?
She's got a golf club.
I
She
mean,
dies?
who's
She
to
does.
say she doesn't have that like fire thing?
That's true.
She may, in fact, have a fire flower.
That's true.
I think she deserves a fire flower. She is a princess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. Princess Peach. I mean, but if Princess Peach gets infected, you're taking the fireballs. And you're gonna be the one on fire. I'm sorry.
I would like to point out for me and Piper that we have an issue in that Ben's team loses.
No, I
I
don't.
think we just disqualify him.
I don't think it does. I think I have logic, and there's like a teamwork aspect, and it's coherent, and I think I'm gonna
I
make
think
it work.
I think to help you stay in this game.
Yeah, I think we need to give you one.
The pea shooter from
Yeah.
Plants vs Zombies.
So I take the pea shooter, right, and I mount it on Yoshi.
On
So I have a
yeah.
gun on Yoshi. I have a whole crew. Thank you, thank you.
Keep in mind, this is purely a pity give.
Yeah.
Because
That's fine.
we all knew Ben was gonna.
I don't have
Was
to.
gonna pick
I don't
really
have to
bad
pay the
choices,
pea shooter.
so.
I don't have to pay the pea shooter. all
You
right?
chose the barbarian.
That's fine. I'm okay with it.
That's a throwaway.
My squad makes the most sense.
No, it doesn't.
No, it really doesn't.
You can't control Freddy. Tom Nook can't fight. Yoshi's an scapegoat. Barbarian's dead. And the pea shooter shoots peas.
You can't change my mind.
I think we all
Sorry,
know
I'm
I'm
stubborn. We all
surviving
know.
this.
I don't know.
These two. Mm-mm.
I feel like this is where the real competition comes from.
Yeah. All right.
Let us know in the comments
Yes, let us
what
know.
you guys think is the real winner. We don't even need
Let us
we
know
can
how you
just-
think that I'm gonna win.
We don't even need to look at that.
No.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining us for our first episode of Critical Damage this season. We'll hope to see you guys back, hopefully next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, gamers.